Ah, damn. The music ended. I was still eating my cereal. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's been a week for me. Not a bad week. Just a week, you know. Busy, etc. Hoo-wee. I dragged my hoodie downstairs whenever I was making coffee, and I forgot it downstairs, and it's a little bit on the cool side in here. Color me slightly uncomfortable. My fingers are cold. Ah. Not bad for once. Your week was pretty bad, but you'll live. Ah, well. We all have our bad weeks. Hopefully it's not like a disastrously bad week or anything. There are few things more hellish than slightly uncomfortable. Jeez. Oh my word. Ah, jeez. All of that. I didn't realize that I set things on to cook just before logging out the last time. Whew. Excuse me. I have I've been here at Side Shale for the last 2 days roughly. So like I've been stockpiling clay, so like this whole vertical stack of chests is full of clay. And I'm in the slow process of turning it into blocks. It's gonna take a while. I'm going from top to bottom now, but I have a lot more clay in a lot of different chests. And I think I've done the math. Okay, I did some math. I didn't do enough math to realize just how much smelting would be necessary for this. But you know, you take what you can get. Excuse me, I have Captain Crunch. God, I'm getting yogurt all over the place. That's a particular thing for me at this point. Um, I have, rather surprisingly, become mildly lactose intolerant, which is quite the thing, quite the development, because I used to eat so much cereal and milk, whenever I was younger. So, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, Tatsu. How are you doing? Greetings. Go ahead and just plant as many of these up as I can. I'm ham-fistedly growing these mangrove trees out in the yard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Started with 3. What are these? Mangrove propagals. Started with 3 of these things, and now I'm up to like a stack and a half of them. My crossbow? It's called Dick Dapper. This is my crossbow, Dick Dapper. I was talking about him previously in the YouTube series that I did. You read it as dick slapper? Well, I mean, listen, sometimes slapping a dick is a whole lot of fun, you know? Sometimes you can't help yourself, and, you know, you call up somebody who, you know, you've always had a thing for, and you're like, hey, I've got a camera here and some baby oil. Do you think we could make something work? And before you know it, you know, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and you've been going for hours on end. God. I don't judge, that's all I'm saying. Morning Strife, I just found the deep dark blocks. Really, Tatsu? Yeah, those oh, you're talking about Skulk, or are you talking about Deep Slate? Alright, you know what? Guys, bear with me. I have to go back downstairs to grab my hoodie. It's too cold up here. I will be right back. Alright, I hope you enjoyed those dulcet tones of the cow in your left ear. Welcome to a Strife stream. Pics. Oh my god. Yes, trial by photograph. Trial by photograph. Hoodie Strife is like a 5-star gacha character. Oh my god. Ooh la la. Whoa. Steve Whittleful? I guess. Okay. Hello. Thank you so much for the subscription. It's good to know that I'm worth both your time and your money. Great to have you along for the ride. Prime, nonetheless. That's a great thing to make use of. Let's find ourselves some music here, shall we? I need a freaking playlist over here. You know, I haven't listened to Borderlands 2 soundtrack in a while. Just go ahead and hit play on that. We'll see whether or not that jives with us today, and then we'll move on if not. Whittle, like whittling knife. FL like in Florida. Oh my god. Oh no. Reverse screens. Redeeming reverse screens. Let me get a timer up here. Holy moly, another cheer. Thank you so much for the first cheer there, Tatsu. Thank you for another one. I mean Skulk because a majority of the blocks I find underground are Deep Slate. That is true. Like, if the answer had been Deep Slate, I would have been like, isn't Deep Slate kind of common? Okay, so we got 10 minutes of screen reverse. Going now. How do they FL in Florida? That's the good question. I gotta resize that. All the game captures are different resolutions, so whenever I switch between them, this type of thing happens. Okay, we're down to basically waiting for 2 blocks of coal because we have a full cook on from 1 block, and then we have 1 more block in there. So 800 seconds, 1600 seconds is what we've... You know what? I'll just grab a calculator. I'll grab a calculator here. Wow, that's a half hour. That's like a half hour I gotta wait. Holy crap, man. Ooh la la. Those days when I don't finish my coffee before streaming. Or, my breakfast before streaming. There we go. Okay, so. Tatsu just gave it a tier 1 sub to Lying. They've given 52 subs in the channel. Wowee, thank you so very, very much. Lying, enjoy it, you know? You show up relatively often, so... Hello, Dark King. Let's see here. We've got a tier 1 sub... Gifted. Oh, right. I just read that. If you were forced to one of the DLCs in Skyrim, Fallout 3, or New Vegas as your next series, what would you choose to play? You know, If I was to go back for the DLC, I would probably go for Dead Money in New Vegas. I don't even know that I still have the character data for that series. But if I dug around, I might be able to find it, you know? The honest to God truth is that I wanted to continue playing Fallout New Vegas, but it wasn't in the cards because I had to stop because Fallout 4 was about to release, and, you know, I didn't have confidence, one, that New Vegas would really do all that well whenever Fallout 4 was out, and two, I didn't have confidence, I didn't want to be playing Fallout New Vegas whenever Fallout 4 was fresh and brand new as well, because I was excited for it. You know, I hadn't had time to become disappointed by Fallout 4 yet, so... Asking you your favorite, but worded more creatively. Now, how many DLCs were there for New Vegas? New Vegas had Dead Money, Honest Hearts, Old World Blues, and Lonesome Road. It was just 4, right? New Vegas was pre-Fallout 4. It feels like it started yesterday. Yeah, it ended like 1 or 2 weeks before the release of Fallout 4. Like my playthrough series. So. Whoa, Tatsu, thank you so much for another cheer. Also, to make sure I can collect the Skulk, I have a pickaxe with Silk Touch. Also, I happened to get the Trident, so I made it my ranged weapon as soon as I had Loyalty and had Loyalty 3 and Mending. Cool, cool. Here's an interesting tip. I don't think you actually need Silk Touch to collect up normal Skulk. I think you only need Silk Touch to collect up the Catalyst. The Catalyst is the only block that you can actually collect up. The Sensors and the Shriekers... No, you can collect up Shriekers. I think you can collect up Shriekers. You cannot collect up Sensors. No, you can collect up the Sensors. You cannot collect up the Shriekers. There we go. There we go. The block that summons the Warden is something that you cannot collect. That's what I'm trying to say. But God, you know, I had so much... I had a lot of fun with the DLC of Fallout 3. In fact, I'm thinking of going back and playing through Fallout 3 again. You know, just doing a plain, flat, vanilla install and playing through the game once again for the first time in, God, what must be a decade now. And just enjoying it, you know? Turning into an old man who plays old video games. Like, basically... I'm turning into the old men that I remember whenever I was young, where it was like all they wanted to do was watch old 70s shows back in the 90s, you know? It was like, oh, this is one of my favorites. It was made back in the 70s. Meanwhile, I'm over here, it's like 2023, I'm like, oh, it's my favorite. It was made back in the early 2000s. Even the Fallout 3 series holds up so well that I constantly forget it was the better part of a decade ago. That is true. And you know, I get a surprising number of comments on my my videos that well, I think it wasn't too long ago that the Epic game launcher gave away Fallout 3 for free. So I've all of a sudden started getting a whole bunch of new comments on my old Fallout videos, and it's kind of wild, you know. It's kind of wild for these ancient like videos because, like, God, some of the original videos that I made for Fallout 3, they were you know, I'm gonna come in here so I'm not drowned out by the sound of me smacking leaves. Some of those videos were produced so early in YouTube's history that high definition wasn't available. Like, my very first Fallout video for Fallout 3, the Perfect Character Guide, that was rendered in standard definition because it wasn't because high def wasn't available on YouTube at the time. It was fucking wild, man. fucking wild. Oh, right, I got the shears on me. I need to be collecting up the vines. Missed anything, did I? Doesn't look like it. Sorry that I'm like not reading chat or anything. I'm very focused right now. Whoop. Whoop. Oh my word. We got a biggin over here. I got a biggin to take care of. Oh boy, it's a big tree. It's a big, big tree. This is the way that I've been... Oh, hey. Screen reverse is done. This is the way that I've been, like, filling my time while waiting for stuff to smelt inside of the facility. That and the fact that, like, I like to have Minecraft running in the background whenever I'm working. Specifically because I have the opportunity to do stuff like this. So it's like, I was doing, voice work for the next guide that I'm working on. And, whenever I was, you know, it's like, okay, there's another, you know, track all edited and cleaned up and whatnot, and it's gonna sound perfect for the editing process. For whenever I actually hit the editing board with video and whatnot. Now that that's done, I'm just gonna slip over to Minecraft and check how things are smelting. Because there's so much smelting to get done. Oh my god, there's so much of it to get done. Looking pretty good. Alright. Let's get rid of all these roots. I don't need them. Oh, and while I'm at it, let's collect up as many of this, as much of the vines that we can, because I do need more mossy cobblestone for working on that train tunnel, which is what I was intending to do today, as you might be able to tell by the name of the stream, but, as it appears to be, this is my, this is what I'm finding myself doing today instead, at least for the first half hour of it. Get rid of all these roots. I'll get to reading what you guys have been saying in a moment here, guys. I'm trying to collect everything. Ah, God, I'm hungry. Eat faster. Shove it into your maw. Didn't mean to do that. Alright, there we go. All cleaned up. We're all good. We're all good. If you do Fallout 3 again, would you do a radically different build than the last one? Weirdly enough, my favorite bits of those series is seeing how you build your character. And, you know, that's an enormous part of what drew me to Bethesda's games in the first place. It was the ability to build and play radically different characters, you know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this is definitely in line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God, another one grew already? Give me a break. Let me rest already. Let's stash some of this stuff. My root collection is coming along nicely. And the mangrove logs go in here. I'm going to have to figure out a new wood system soon. Well, at least it's down to the last of the smelting on it. I liked Fallout New Vegas more than Fallout 4. Like, don't get me wrong, Fallout 4 is a decent game. Okay? Like, you don't spend a couple hundred hours on a game without it being reasonably good. I've gone back to it consistently. But it is not, in my opinion, as good of a game as Fallout 3 was, and far from as good as Fallout New Vegas was, so. But, if I was to play Fallout 3 again, I probably wouldn't, like, if I did a series for YouTube, I would probably try to do, a radically different style of, play. But if I'm just gonna play it for myself, I would just play through... Ooh, no. Had some stuff come out of my mouth there. Fallout, if I was to play through Fallout 3 just for myself, I would just play through, you know, like, okay, we're gonna stick to, like, just normal guns, or we're gonna stick to just the energy weapons, because that was my first original experience with it, you know? And it was a whole lot of fun, and there's nostalgia in that, so... Strife isn't reading chat. We can plan his surprise birthday party. Oh dear. Sneak that in while he's not focusing then. Hello, Extra Happy. How are you doing? Strife, I happened to find 2 pieces of ancient debris near my nether portal. That is some good luck. Congratulations on that, Tatsu. That's some freaking chance of spawn that you don't get every day. A BB gun build? Oh my god, please. Don't toy with me. I can only get so erect. Actually, come to think of it, how do the potatoes look? Still not completely grown. The shape of that tree, no wonder I have so much trouble cutting these damn things down. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, for God's sake. I ended up collecting just over 2 stacks of Skulk and Skulk Sensor. That's pretty good. Like, Skulk doesn't really have much of a purpose other than, like, okay, place it down wherever the hell you want. It's like a decorative block. Excuse me. How's the old fish farm doing? It's getting there. It's most certainly getting there. Oh, whoops. I don't have to turn around in these elevators. I keep forgetting that. I've got some stuff here that needs repairing. I think I had potatoes in one of the... Yeah, sure enough. I got potatoes in some of the furnaces here. How much do you think people would pay to watch a man stuff 3 whole baked potatoes into his mouth in the space of 5 seconds? Too much money. Can Tev handle all that wood of yours? No, actually, she can't. She's incapable of handling all this wood of mine, which is why I have, you know, I have a harem. Concubines. You know, it's just, I am a dragon-slaying sex god over here. Thankfully, he's just stuffing it in any old box at the moment. Oh, absolutely, Fallout 4 wasn't a bad game, just not great. Very true. Very true. I ended up collecting just over 2 stacks of... right, I already read that. Obviously, all that matters is that you put out what you enjoy and what gets enough attention to justify the work, so hopefully I don't come off like I'm hassling you to do a specific thing with my questions. I worry that I come off like that sometimes. You know, like, I've got so much history as, like, the Fallout guy that, it is extremely common for people to come in and be like... People ask me hypotheticals about Fallout all the time. You know, like, I get asked, why didn't you do Fallout 4 content? At which point I have to be like, I did. Nobody watched it. I get asked, you know, hypotheticals of like, what would you do in this? Like, how did you handle that? Like, what was your opinion on this? What do you think would have been a good way to adjust the game or something? And I've got opinions on all of that stuff, you know? I don't think that every single opinion I have about Fallout needs to be made into a video, hence the reason why there aren't just like basically a million videos micro-analyzing every Fallout game. You know, I think that there's a lot there to discuss in like a podcast style format, but not in like, I'm going to write essay after essay after essay about this thing. So I'm entirely used to it at this point. And I short of somebody expressly being like, hey dude, you should like make another Fallout, like, and I don't think that I've really ever had anybody come in and say that on a stream before. I don't think I've ever had somebody come in and say, you need to make another Fallout series. I've had people come in and ask why I haven't made another Fallout series, but those aren't quite the same thing. One potentially leaves it to like a nudge and a wink. The other one is very express, you know? So... Also, Strife, I don't know if you read the earlier one, but you definitely need Silk Touch to pick up Skulk, or maybe it's different between Bedrock and Java Edition. Really? I mean, I have a place where I can check that out. I can go back to the Solution Tower. And I can go back to the Solution Tower and check out whether or not I can take up Skulk that way. I feel like I don't need it, but then again, maybe I'm getting it mixed up already. Jeez. Strife, for the last time, this is a court hearing on name ownership, not a harem. Says you lying. There's no point in having a fallout over it, then, is there? Extra happy? You are grounded. Go to the corner. Greetings, Chainsy. To me personally, you're best known for the Saturday Skyrim series you did for roughly 2 years. The stuff of Legends. If you did a Fallout 4 series, I'd love to view it. Harem, tomato, tomato. Fallout 4, in my experience, requires a lot of modding to work with role-playing. Either that, or you've got to accept that there's the voiced protagonist. And I'm happy that it appears that Bethesda's like, okay, we tried that, we dipped our toes in it. It wasn't really like it's not really our thing. People didn't really like it. We're gonna shy away from that, because my understanding is that Starfield does not have a voiced protagonist. You know. Well, I know I needed it because a diamond pickaxe without Silk Touch just broke it. Well, crud. That's no bueno. That is no bueno. Also, thank you for another cheer there, Tatsu. Of course I'm grounded. How am I supposed to fly away without wings? Safe from lightning, too. Chat. Chat, why you do this? Why you do this? Alright, now that that's done, let's go ahead and break one of these. Soak up the experience from it. Man. There we go. Okay, we'll load those furnaces back up. And now we are just going to get moving. Oh man, the caustic caverns. God. I still attest that Borderlands 2 is probably one of the best ever made games I have ever played in my lifetime. Was it 100% perfect? No. No, it was not. I would say that it was 99% perfect. What's your favorite word? Mine is... I can't read that word. What the hell is that word? I'd look it up right now, but my hands are busy driving a horse. I was about to take my Amazon returns to the parcel shop, then I saw you streaming. It can wait till tomorrow. Oh, speaking of Amazon, man, I remember I had a couple of ideas for what to toss onto the wish list for novelty, and I still haven't gotten around to it. I like just throwing things onto that wish list for the for the fun of it, you know. I do not legitimately. I did not mean to knock that microphone there. I do not legitimately expect anybody to ever buy anything off of that list. I want that to be clear. I just keep bringing it up because I find the list itself very entertaining. I watched that video about the YouTube server. Fantastic story. Really? Hey, well, hey. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Chainsy. I believe I saw a comment from you on it, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, the video is out of its cycle for, like, getting comments and whatnot and being of any interest to people at this point. Or showing up in subscription boxes. There we go. Tie that horse up. Oh, wee. Out of that Borderlands game, never got very far in it though. Still need to wrap my head around how loot works. It's really simple. Loot drops whenever you kill enemies and when you open chests. Not really more complicated than that. My biggest problem when going back to play Borderlands 2 is the fact that they introduced golden keys, and I didn't understand what golden keys were or how they worked the first time I played through the game. I played through it entirely soloed the first time. So what I did was I just ignored them. That's all I really did. I just ignored the existence of the goddamn Enderman. I ignored the existence of golden keys, just waiting for the game to eventually give them to me. It never did. And then they eventually then I figured out what golden keys were much later on, and in all of my subsequent playthroughs, I can't help but use the golden keys on that chest inside of Sanctuary, which, you know, if you use the golden key on the chest in Sanctuary, you end up getting like appropriately leveled epic tier loot, you know. I just ignore the golden keys system, ruins it for me. And that's just it. Like, that's what I really need to do. Just ignore the golden keys, because I remember having some of the best times in my first playthrough because every freaking gun drop was special. Whenever you use the golden keys, it takes all of the value out of the gun drops because you're always getting probably the best possible guns you can have for the level you're at whenever you use the golden key system, right? All right, I gotta start stripping this tunnel out some more. This is gonna be a long process, but the first step of of everything I have to do here is get this in. There we go. Okay, so one, two, three, four, five. Okay, yep, that's exactly what it needs to be. Also, Borderlands 2 was scored by Jesper Kyd, and he is just a really good composer. Was responsible for Assassin's Creed 2. Okay. All right. Come here. I need to look up this word and listen to it. Pause music. We will listen to sound. Words now.
Pulchritude.
Pulchritude. Physical comeliness. That is the way it is defined. That is the way it is defined. As according to Merriam-Webster, at least. If anything is hard to try to get, it's phantom membranes. It's a bit of a process. I'm certain that you can build a, I'm certain that you can build some sort of a farm for it, like pretty much everything in Minecraft, but yeah, it is difficult to get your hands on that. To get Strife's phantom membranes, I had to use Tinder. Oh my god. Oh my word. I watched that video about the Battle Royale. Looked pretty neat. Lying. The biggest problem I The biggest problem I find people have with Borderlands is getting attached to loot. It's really only useful for 2 to 3 levels. Yeah, that is. I remember having that as a big problem with like the first game whenever I played it. I remember just being like, no, I can't let go of this gun. It has treated me so well for so long. I can't let it go. So like that was a long running quote unquote issue for me with the first game. AC2, that's where I know the name. Yep. Yeah, I got to play Borderlands 2 after they stopped giving the golden key out. Here's the thing, like, the golden keys still work in Borderlands 2, you can still get them, okay, so it's really simple. They aren't giving the golden keys out anymore, but most of the golden keys still work in the game. So you can go out and you can just find, like, a compendium, usually on a wiki of some type, where it's like, yeah, these are the golden keys that have been put out for the game. Use them. And pretty much without fail, those golden keys work. So, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm all out. I'm all out of the diorite. I guess what I'll do now is, I'll strip the tunnels. Going back, back up the line. I'll start here, since I've already got this done. It's always hard to beat how great of a character Handsome Jack is. Yeah, I don't know many villains if there... I don't even know if there is a villain who's better written than Handsome Jack. He's just so damn good. I play on console, and as far as I know, that's only possible on the PC version. Is that true? I don't remember. Like, I've got Borderlands 2 for the PlayStation 4. Alright, I need to... Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Quite the situation I find myself in here. Fucking caverns everywhere! Give me a break. This is not what I signed up for. There are some fun ways to play the game. Something called Scavenger Run means you equip and use every gun that drops until the next one drops. Oh, that's pretty cool. I hadn't thought of doing that. Even if you go from legendary to white quality. Golly, that would be so fucking cruel. Oh my god. It's a fancy word to describe... It's a fancy word to describe beautiful. Yes, yes, it is a fancy word to describe beautiful. Or imager. Eli bringing up the pictures once again. My word. It honestly sounds like a word you'd use to describe a lich, not something beautiful. Yeah, I guess you're right about that. I guess you are right about that. Or at least I feel like you're onto something. I remember Outer Worlds having a system where you could use currency to upgrade weapons you like to higher levels. Borderlands could benefit from a similar system. My recollection is that there was a game mod that made it possible for you to mod the weapons independent of the drop system. And everybody who used it said, yeah, it takes everything that's good about the game out of it. Like, playing no longer feels like there's a point or a purpose because now you can just engineer the best guns possible. And now going out to kill stuff and get the guns from drops has zero purpose. So, take that for what it is. I never used the mod, but that was the sentiment that I heard. How are we doing on cobble? Oh, we're doing all right. I like the Iridian weapon in the first game were insane because, especially after the second playthrough, they're powerful and have infinite ammo. Yeah, those Iridian guns were something else. And, like, one thing that I do not miss from the original game was gun aptitude. Because, like, the more you used a particular type of gun, the more you were encouraged to basically keep using the exact same gun, you know? And while that was interesting, I found that it was more, it was more stifling than anything else. Because I found myself finding really cool guns and being like, but it's not in line with the style of gun that, like, I'm really skilled at using and I get these bonuses for, so I can't use... Like, that's what it did to me, you know? It was like, I started getting so specialized at handguns, I was reluctant to pick up and use an SMG ever, you know? It was like, okay, like, I got 2 different handguns, and these other 2 slots are just my backup weapons, you know, for whenever I run out of ammo, type stuff. There are definitely different keys for PC, Mac, PlayStation, Xbox. It's possible the consoles' keys are timed. You keep finding caverns, I keep finding underground lakes. Well, Tatsu, the reason that I keep finding caverns is because this is old map generation that I'm in right now. The only real, quote-unquote, new map generation is below the world height of 0. So... You know, the negative world height has the can potentially have the caverns, but this is such an old area. We're talking, you know, like Minecraft version 1.2 or something. Maybe even 1.1 where we're at. Or maybe not. I don't remember. I don't remember. I shouldn't be trying to put a number on it. I probably have a closer concept of when it happened if I went back and I looked at the video that I made, because then like I would actually have information that was relatively solid about like between what updates I was whenever I went out to build the church, because that's where I'm headed right now. I'm headed out to the church. This is an existing rail line that goes out there that just needs to be updated and beautified and everything. So right now it's functional, but it doesn't look too good. So it needs some modification. I have to rethink how the station is built as well out there. But that is something that I have to contemplate some other time. Far be it from me to ignore the valuable resources just sitting there for me to grab. Alright, that appears to be everything that I need to bother with here. So, oh, that's right. I came prepared this time. I can go back the easy way. I've been playing Elder Scrolls Online recently. I'm surprisingly enjoying it myself. I've heard good things about it. You know, the only really thing about Elder Scrolls Online is that you have to treat it like exactly what it is, an MMO, instead of like an Elder Scrolls game, unfortunately. I realize right now I have what's needed to make I can start filling in some of the tunnels here with what I have on me. So before we go and stash stuff, let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. Okay. Yep. I've been enjoying Potionomics, a game focused around upselling customers with business savvy. Yeah, I saw Potionomics. I was interested in it, but ultimately it still ended up going past me. I really like the art style that they were playing with it on, but like I had this initial interest in it, but then I realized that there was like it's some form of card game, and card games are very hit and miss with me. So I was just like, okay, never mind. I can understand that take, but then again, so many of the drop rates are horrible that I think something could be done to better it. I don't know what you're talking about, Professor, because, like, I never found any of the drop rates to be bad. Like, I'm not getting a good gun every 5 minutes, but I'm getting a good gun, like, every hour to 2 hours in the game that I enjoy. And you level up really fast in that game, which is an enormous element of how you, how the guns spawn in the game as well. So I never found there to be any problem with the drop rate. Then again, looter shooters, like, they've come a long way. Like, Borderlands has, like, it's been a long time since Borderlands was the standard bearer for looter shooters. I mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't, like, Destiny or Warframe more emblematic of a looter shooter these days? I've never played either of, well, I've played Destiny too. Ugh, God, I did not enjoy that game. Look at me, constantly misplacing my blacks. Oh my god. I'm full of misclicks today. Full of misclicks. I like the gun by itself. Will be a 1 in 30 chance, and then the optimal parts will make your chances approximate to finding shiny Pokemon in older games. Oh, well, yeah, I'll admit, like, being able to mod the gun with scopes and whatnot. There is something to be said for, like, finding basically the exact same gun that you're holding, with better stats or, like, a better scope on it. Like, there's a special type of, like, oh, this is basically the same gun, but it's got the scope that I want. Or getting basically the same gun without the scope and being like, well, this was almost a good gun, you know, or something along those lines. Not all guns need scopes. It's like, I understand the value of putting a scope on a handgun. I really do. But sometimes that's not what you need. And it's like, I'm just using this gun as, like, a really, really good way to, you know, like, this is my sidearm. I don't need a scope on it. I need it to shoot fast. That's really the only thing. I just need to swap to it in an emergency. And then, you know, like, you find a gun with a fancy scope on it. It's like, this is really gonna get in the way of how I'm trying to play with handguns, type thing, you know? Until I watched that video, I actually wasn't aware you could just go very far away and experience a new update on the same map. Yes, that was, that is a thing that whenever I explain my playstyle in Minecraft here and use of nether portals, like, I've explained that so many different times here on the stream that at this point, I'm very used to people hearing it for the first time and being like, I never thought of that. I never thought of it that way, you know? So, like, it was pretty nice to finally be able to sit down and explain that in a YouTube video for people to watch and understand. And actually, what I should probably do is I should set up some sort of command for the bot, so that whenever I do play Minecraft, and people ask about the world, I can go ahead and just tell them, you know, oh, hey, you know, if you're really interested, there's like a half-hour video or close to it of me explaining the world that I'm in right now. And if you're really curious about the full story and like what's going on there, you can go ahead and just, you know, type in the command and you can get the full details about what's going on with this world. All right, there we go. So that's pretty much all the train tunnel that I'm fixing up at the moment. I'm not going to bother. I could keep going. You know what? Let's just keep going. I have to dig in for 3 block tall sections here in the tunnel. I kind of figured that would happen. I can't just not collect up all the gravel. I need this stuff. So it's prerequisite at this point. If I find gravel, I have to dig it all up. Okay, so right now we are actually listening to the sanctuary music. And you know what? I gotta say, it's some of the better composed music for a hub that I've ever heard, because this music does not grate on me. All of these years later, as many times as I have played the game, actually, come to think of it, how many hours do I have in Borderlands 2? Borderlands 2, last played in 2021. Ooh, I might need to change that. I have 447 hours in it. Almost 448 hours. So, out of 448 hours, I am still not sick of the music in the primary hub town. Like, that is a feat. You know, for you not to get bored of the freaking music in the hub town after 448 hours? That's... how freaking often does something like that happen? Almost never, that's what. All right, cool. All right, we'll go over the other side, do the same thing, and we're just going to go back and forth. We're just going to do this with every tunnel until we run out of enough mossy cobble. We will just keep doing this until we're out of mossy cobble. Oh my god, it's too dark over here. Like, I know that the tunnel doesn't need to be very well lit once I'm done with it, especially with the way that the blocks are the block placement is. It's going to be almost impossible for anything to spawn down here. But while I'm building, god, it's dark. God, is it ever dark. I like the badass points far better since you can choose what to buff, and the buffs for guns were more equal. Yes, Tatsu. I think that the badass token system was a much better system than weapon proficiencies. So, you know, that's a thing. Also, thank you very much for another cheer. Tatsu, you are just the cheering maniac on this channel. Tatsu cheers more than they chat. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. I'm very thankful for getting the cheers that I do. It means a lot to me. The fact that I'm worth, you know, any amount of money, especially with the way that inflation is affecting everybody in the world, basically, it means something to me. It means something to me. Shots fired. Oh no. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. I've almost completely exhausted all of the cobblestone that I have here. Is there a way of getting mossy cobblestone easily? You basically have to farm up you have to farm up vines. That is the primary method by which you do it. And vines will grow passively, so you can just basically build a tall wall, put vines at the top of it. And that's it. That's it. Just wait for the vines to grow down far enough, and then take a pair of shears and clip them, and that's it. It's not necessarily a super fast method of farming the vines, but it is the most effective method of farming the vines. Oh dear. I just ran out of cobble. Wait a minute, I have extra cobble in my inventory. Wait a minute, I have additional vines in my inventory. Oh boy, happy day. Then you just combine the vines with cobble and you're done. That's all that it takes. Elder Scrolls Online is half and half. It's got some really nice features, but it's held back in both directions. In truth, I'm not sure I'd be enjoying it if I didn't enjoy Elder Scrolls lore as much as I do. That's interesting. I tried to play Elder Scrolls Online whenever it first came out, and it just wasn't doing it for me. That was also because I was treating it like a normal single-player Elder Scrolls, where I was like, I need to do all of the side quests that are presented to me. You know, which was obviously not a good way to try and play an MMO. Alright, that's enough cobblestone, mossy cobblestone work for now. I am going to saddle up and go back. I used to play Warframe, stopped playing after the first open world planet because I didn't really gel with that kind of content addition when they were focusing from that point onward. I really like the devs though, they deserve the best and hope their newly announced game does well. Oh wait, they came out with another newly announced games? Scopes and sights statistically actually do nothing in Borderlands. Yeah, they don't introduce numbers at all in Borderlands, but being able to see your enemies closer can make a difference for how you aim, so. Soulframe. That sounds familiar. Probably. It sounds like that sounds like something I saw spinning around in the media for a bit there. Oh. Did I ever finish dissolving those candy canes in here? Yep! Yeah, they dissolved! but they did not get mixed in. Woo! Woo. Oh my god, that's all the candy cane at the very bottom of my coffee. Oh my word. Ugh. That's not pleasant. That was not pleasant. I just looked up the exchange rate for me. $1 US is 17.5 units. Kind of explains why an RTX 3050 is a 10,000. Jeez, where you live. That is one hell of a woof. They're also publishing another game developed by a different studio called Wayfinder. Wayfinder sounds familiar as well. I almost thought she said Pathfinder, and I was like, oh, the D&D situation rears its ugly head once again. Oh, God. Okay, so... Stash those. I don't need them here. Mortal Frame, I believe is what it's called. Mortal Frame. God. Soul Frame? Mortal Frame? They all sound so freaking familiar. All games are the same now. There is no difference between them. Variety is dead. Alright, chat. You hang out for a little bit, eh? I will be right back. I'm going to go ahead and get myself some more coffee and hopefully stir it this time. Hang out for just a little bit on me. Variety is dead and EA killed it. I don't know. I think Bobby Kotick might be responsible for that to some degree as well. But... and he's responsible for Activision. Oh, man. We're into the part of the soundtrack that goes to Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. One of the best DLCs I've ever played in my fucking life. Man, there's so many good games that I need to get that I need to actually play. You know a game that I haven't played through yet, but I've owned it for a while? Excuse me. Control. Oh, look at me. I left all the potatoes back at the other base. You know what? I'm just gonna run out and fix that. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna grab up some potatoes from the other base. From Side Shale. So chat, I have a question for you. How did your day go? Well, not your day, but your week. On my end, my week was, odd. It was a little bit odd. Not bad, necessarily, just odd. Having to go out and, visit the doctor on Monday. And then I surprisingly was able to still stream because I got through it fast enough. Which was quite unexpected within itself. All right. So, this is the idea that I've got, guys. God, what are the other... Wait, what is the... I was gonna say something about what my next step on the... My God, that tree really did grow in an errant way. I finished Kona and busy deciding what to play next, BioShock, Batman, or Subnautica. I mean, it depends on what Batman you're talking about there, but I've played, there's a good chance that I've played all of those. It's hard to go wrong with one of those. You know, I think I remember covering the game Kona whenever it was still, like, a really new idea. Week all right. Work's changing soon, so finding things to do without lazing about, kind of. Really? The first Arkham game. Arkham Asylum? Oh, man. Arkham Asylum is pretty damn good. You are spoilt for choice there. You have got some real bangers to choose from. You know, come to think of it, there's a game called Blossom Tales that went on sale. Is it still on sale? Or was that just like a midweek madness thing? Oh, it's still on sale. It's still on sale. Blossom Tales 2. The Minotaur Prince. It's basically a Zelda-esque game. You can get it for $11.25. That's really, really tempting, man. That's really super tempting. What am I doing? I didn't mean to come in here. I need to hop on my horse. Come on, yeah. This week, got 4 months of medication, yay, and my landlord announced he's selling our house. Not so yay. Jeez. Oh, man. Do you look forward, like... So here's my main question for you in that type of a scenario, lying. Is there a possibility of whoever buys the house just letting you continue to live there? Because that is a thing here in the United States. It is possible for a landlord to sell the house and be like, I'm selling the house, the tenants are there, do not bother them, talk to just me, you know? Where it's like, I'm selling the house and the tenants come with it, you know? So you've got built-in, like, way to... We practically live in a building site. No chance. Oh, jeez. Woof. Oh, so here's a concept that I don't know how it works over in the UK. Zoning. How does zoning work? Does zoning exist in the United Kingdom, or at least in your neck of the woods? Because here in America, for the most part, cities are zoned, where it's like, okay, you can build residential structures here. You can build commercial buildings here. You can build industrial buildings here. And there are some cities that do not have zoning laws. I believe Dallas is one of them. You can have your dream home, and then all of a sudden there can be a stinky factory put up right next to it. So I genuinely don't know if we have an equivalent. Interesting. Interesting. All right, let's return to the pit, as it were. Actually, what am I doing? I need to have an extra stack of. I'm gonna grab these carrots and carry them with me. When it comes to ecology and heritage, there's zoning laws fucking everywhere. Oh my god. These goddamn enders. We have a fair few laws that prevent factories from being built in areas. It's normally more, how much can we pay the council to not have to abide by the compulsory affordable housing regulations? Oh, oh, gee. Ugh. When it comes to building resi flats, that's it. Yeah, I suppose you guys don't have a terribly large amount of space to actually build anything other than apartment blocks, do you? As we here in America like to call them. All right, we're gonna keep going here. And what we're gonna do for this round is... Oh, son of a bitch, I knew I forgot something. I forgot all of my freaking diorite. Oh, man. You're right. And then we get the really, really high ceiling. You know what I'm going to do? Instead of messing around with the diorite, I am just going to strip the tunnel without diorite. It's fine. It'll all work out. Don't worry. Offhand. Okay. Yeah. And then we got there we go. You know, one thing that I am looking forward to finally getting around to playing at some point, whenever it goes on, like, a $20... I won't pay any more than $20 for it. But, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I would like to give Tiny Tina's Wonderlands a shot, but I'm not gonna bother with it until it's $20. Because Borderlands 3 just burns so much goodwill with me. Oh, fudge, I almost missed it. Well, tomorrow is the big day, Will. The first time hanging out with both my birth father and myself. I'm so excited. Good. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to you, Tesla. I hope that it turns out well. The South and the Midlands are quite full. It's why I moved to Lancashire. Not quite, no, and brownfield sites aren't as desirable as that's more effort than the greenfield sites, sadly. Those are words, Extra. Those are words that you said. Words that don't necessarily make any sense. I'm stirring my coffee right now. Bear with me, please. Here they're trying to turn all resi areas into gated communities, and gated community houses are small and they just, in general, suck. You can buy a house in a nice enough area here for 80 to 95,000. It's probably the only chance I'll ever have to own property. Man. Oh, 80,000 pounds, 95,000 US dollars. Okay. Yeah, my I got crazy lucky because one, I live in the Midwest, right? I live in the Midwest, which means it's like it's suburbia central. Like you get ranch houses everywhere essentially where I live. That's like even when you're living in the middle of a suburban neighborhood, you're still getting ranch like ranch style one-floor homes, you know? No upstairs. It's too warm for upstairs for the most part around this area. That doesn't stop people from building it, though. Or me from buying one. But I got wildly lucky because an actual house was always out of my my budget. Like a real proper house with a garage and whatnot. Which, if I ever get the fucking money, oh my god, I never realized how much dad energy I had. I want a fucking garage so bad. Mostly because I was never, like, my mom is a pack rat, okay? So, like, we never put cars in the garage. It was always for all of the boxes of stuff that she would keep that is utterly and completely useless. But anyways, like, I got crazy lucky whenever I started looking for a house, and I found a townhome, which is exceedingly unusual in this area, and it only cost me $80,000. Now, that's still quite a lot of money, especially the type of income that I live on. But $80,000 was like, oh my god, that's a quantity of money that I can actually fucking imagine. This is insane, you know? So whenever I like actually inquired about the place and then got a property inspection, I was like, there's no way that this place is going to come out without like some sort of a roach infestation. Clean. Came out completely clean. And I'm like, all right, you know what? There are no doubt problems with this place that I'm not seeing right now, but I think it's good enough. So I bought it. I bought it. A brownfield site is a plot that's already been built on before, like an old industrial estate. A greenfield site is virgin land, aka literally a fresh green field. Brownfield requires testing everything that's already there, other dwellings, etc. Huh. So. Drinky drink plus extra brain equals words in that particular order. Well, wait a minute. Extra, are you saying that you've been drinking? Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go there. Figuring out the size of the tunnel that needs to be here is going to be kind of awkward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this would be 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go up to here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up to there. Okay, cool. I think we've got it. I think I've got the dimensions figured out right here. I'm gonna leave figuring out the stairway for like another time. This right here can just get fucked for the moment. Stumbles in. Hello, extra. Hey, Tev. Crashes on the floor. No. Yeah, I know exactly what that means, extra. On the note of drinking and whatnot, man, guys, I cannot express how happy I am with that hutch that I found. That hutch that I found and managed to pick up for only $100. It is so good. It is so freaking nice to finally have a place to put all of the alcohol in the house. Like, I'm like this. It's very much so like that particular like early 20s aesthetic. It's like, oh, you're in your early 20s and you're a man and you need something to use as your, you know, your identity. We're going to use alcohol and the place where you prepare it as your identity. And that always struck me as a little bit dumb. But now that I've got a place to put all my alcohol and store it, I'm just like, this is my identity. Just having a small space on the side that I can make look nice and put all of the you know, enjoyable material, all of the materials necessary to make a nice drink. I didn't realize that I wanted one so bad until I actually moved to have it, you know? And for me, I think it comes down to just the very generic concept of like, yes, let us respect the drink, you know? And, you know, as part of that, you know, drink responsibly, etc. All right, I guess we're just, you know what? This is just what we're gonna do. This is just what we're gonna do. We're just gonna continue digging this particular section right here. Probably until I can't carry anymore. This simplifies my life a significant amount just by doing this so easily and simply. Really wish I could get a beacon in here, but like, beacons are best for digging down, not digging across. God, this just makes me want to go back and play through frickin' Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep again. Let's run back across these tracks and grab what I've missed. God, I wouldn't mind running around Borderlands 2 again. Man, just... What... Okay, so Tev, this is crazy. This is crazy that somebody proposed or told me about earlier today. I don't... Whoever it was, like, name yourself or something. But, like, this is the idea. It's a particular playstyle where you have to equip whatever gun you pick up, whatever gun drops, until another gun drops, at which point you equip that one next. And you have to constantly be cycling the style of gun that you use based on what drops, and you have to use it. I don't know that that's something that I would necessarily do for a very long period of time, but it sounds very interesting. Okay, so we've hit the crevasse here. We had better actually... I had better actually focus on this and figure out how the hell I'm going to do this, so... Hey, creeper prick. This doesn't work well with my snipey tendencies. Yes, it doesn't, which is exactly the reason why you should try it. It'll get you out of your rut. I unashamedly display my empty bottles. I do use some of them as bottles for cooking oil. In my mini fridge, in the bottom closet, in the kitchen fridge, which doesn't have a lot, the fridge in the basement, and the homemade shelf in the basement as booze my folks bought from the old house. Golly. Content creators aren't allowed to quit Minecraft. Then quit Minecraft and play Borderlands. God. Yeah, lying's right there. I'm not allowed to stop. Like, Minecraft is the game that just keeps on going. No matter what. My God, look at the the glow squids. The glowy squids down there. Okay, so, this is going to have to get wider. So, for this moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out the depth of all of this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's 5. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. All right, there we go. I figured out the dimensions of it, relatively speaking. What I need to do now is actually fully dig this space out and go straight across the crevasse here so that I know exactly what my space is that I need to be working on. So we'll just work on the ceiling first like we always do. But no, like if I was to go back and do Borderlands 2 again, I would want to do a DLC/Headhunter exclusive playthrough where, you know, you gain access, you basically play through the base game until you reach Sanctuary, you get the 3rd gun slot, and then, at that point, you stop playing the main quest, you stop doing all of those side quests, and you exclusively focus on DLC and Headhunter packs. I wasn't in a rut. Like hell you weren't in a rut, Mrs. I will carry 4 sniper rifles and nothing else. It's weird, to be honest. I went through the whole wild drinking stage quick and jumped into more adult stuff. Sorry, ADHD moment. That was me. There's also allegiance runs where you spin a wheel on a website and it gives you a character and a manufacturer. You can only use that manufacturer if it's Jacob's. You don't get a shield. God. Hey, I did not. I carried a couple of other guns too. Shush. Yeah, like your Sniper 2 and your Sniper 3 and your Sniper 4. Okay, so there's that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. That's 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Okay. And there's really not much counting to be done on this side. Hey, Will, how are you? I had surgery on Thursday. Oh, really? I hope that it turned out well. Okay, just goes straight off into the freaking void. There we go. But yeah, when it comes to booze stuff, it's mixed drinks and fancy exotic blah 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 booze. I've said it before, Japanese whiskey is king. As for mixed drinks, Long Island iced tea or an old-fashioned Texas Roadhouse at the as the best old-fashioned. It was indeed successful. I'm alive, no more Big C, but the pain's intense. The pain is intense. Man, well, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that, Soulbrecken. No more Big C. That's noteworthy. Like, that's something to be super happy about. You know what? Let's stash the dirt in there. Let's grab up. Let's stash as much cobblestone as we can. We'll take all the vines out, take as much cobblestone out as we can. Then we'll just craft up as much mossy cob as we can. Craft up even more of it. Cool. All right, now that that's done, stash all that mossy cob. Stash the dirt. Stash the stairs. I don't even need that on me right now. We'll get the minecart out of my inventory as well. There. Okay, so with that done, go ahead and get that on my hotbar. And what we will do is we will start stripping out the material here. And what I need to do is start paving the bottom right here. There we go. There we go. This is looking about right. This is going the right direction. Come down here. One, 2, 3, 4. There we go. This is going to be a fun and strange one to figure out ultimately, because I want the ravine here to be visible. So let's come over here. Put that in. Okay, so 2, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do the same thing over here. Down 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. All right, there we go. Stripped out. All good to go. On a separate note, Solbrecken, I believe it was you who bought the current wall decoration back there. Thank you so very much. It's always great to get some of the gifts and whatnot that help give a little bit of flourish to the stream, you know? Just a wee little bit of flourish. Not too much flourish. Just some. Okie dokie. So we'll just continue stripping this out then. It's what you guys tuned in for. You want to see me strip. I know. Don't worry. I got you. It's all coming out. Man, why do train tunnels require so much work? It's gonna take me forever to actually get all of the train tunnels into the damn world. Because they have a good use. Train tunnels are rarely dug with a pickaxe IRL, to be frank. Now you take those statements and you just take them right back. You take those statements back. Take them back. Take them back now. All right. It's time to switch to Silk Touch. Because everybody prefers a Silk Touch. I mean, it's soft and it's nice and it makes you all excited. I'm horrible. I can never stop with these jokes. My sense of humor. Do you own a pair of silk underwear? Yes. Yes, I do. I do, actually. Most of the stuff that I wear is made out of, you know, synthetic fibers. I'm not a huge fan of, like, cotton and whatnot. Almost everything is made out of a synthetic fiber. But, I do own one, maybe two pairs of silk. Are they one of the wall pants options? No, they are not. They're actually They're actually a very fancy silk and lace pair that I've had for a long time now. I've had them so long, I'd have to dig them out and find out if the stretch or elasticity in them is starting to fail. And I know exactly why you're asking that question, Eli. It's undeniable. It's very obvious why you're asking that question. Time to add silk wall pants for 1,000 points. You know what? Sure, we'll add that. You want me to put my silk wall pants up there? Give me $1,000. All solved. All solved. I can be expensive sometimes. You want to hear more about them? I'll tell you more about them. All you need to only ask. I don't think it's that exciting of a topic. I have to redeem that swap 12 times, so of course I will. Well, if you're gonna ask, you have to actually ask. You can't just say that you're going to. Alright, take this stuff out. I have not have to. Well, that doesn't sound like a question to me, so we will just continue digging the tunnel then. Just gonna keep beavering away here. Chipping away at the rock. Go. So I hear that Nick Offerman played a role inside of The Last of Us. And for one, that's particularly unexpected. Never would have expected him to play play a role in The Last of Us. But more interesting than that was the fact that he was being interviewed on like one of the late night programs about, you know, being in the show, and they asked if he had ever played the game. And his response was, I haven't played a game in like over 20 years, you know? They were like, well, okay, well, what's the story behind that? And he said, the last game he played was something called Banjo-Kazooie. I couldn't believe when I saw this going around. The last game he ever played was Banjo-Kazooie. And, like, he basically vanished into his house or his apartment or whatever for 2 weeks. Didn't talk to anybody. And when he was like, to, you know, basically beat the entire game. And when he was done, he realized, oh my God, what have I done? I have vanished from life for like 2 weeks straight. This is not okay. And he swore off video games after that because he knew that he would never get anything done. So, you know, of course, this is getting around, and I follow on Twitter, I follow Grant Kirkhope. And if you don't know, Grant Kirkhope is the man who's responsible for scoring a lot of those, you know, old games for the Nintendo 64. He was responsible for the music in GoldenEye for the 64. He was responsible for Banjo-Kazooie. He was responsible for Banjo-Tooie. He wrote the music for Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. He recently wrote a whole bunch of music for Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope, I believe. So, just like, of course, he's the one. He is the one in of everybody that I see on Twitter who's just like, I am. He's just reacting to it, and he's just like all smiles and everything. The funny thing is, I think Grant Kirkhope is an enormous component of why we ended up with ukulele all those years ago. I say, God, has it really been all those years ago now? But evidently the reason why ukulele was made and Platonic Games exists, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that Grant Kirkhope years ago went on Game Grumps and talked about what his dream was. It was like to basically get the old band back together and start making games again. And then a couple of years later, they kick-started ukulele, and I was like, there's no way that these two things are not somehow related to one another. There's just no way. Uh-oh. I found a gravel vein. I can't ignore gravel veins. It's big and veiny, guys. Alright, we'll bother with filling in that gap later. Way I see it, the best thing that I can do is just continue to, like, strip out this tunnel straight up until the ravine and like, just move on from there, so. It might be time for a burger. You know, I have no earthly idea what on earth to eat for lunch today. Like, lunch is still an hour and a half away, but... Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. You can eat Tev for lunch, if you know what I mean. Hey Tev, could you spread your legs for me? If she is still here. Oh my god. I doubt she's in chat. Oh, she is. She is! I hear a witch. Oh dear. What on earth? What? Tev, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Chat made me do it. Chat made me do it. Okay, I'm pretty much full up on inventory now. Let's take a look if there's anything that I can do with materials instead of going back up. Oh, there's plenty for me to do here. There is plenty for me to do with the materials. So, let us make a whole lot of stairs. Oh, you know what? Go ahead and stash these things in there. Hot diggity damn. It's coming right along. In Strife, if you will. Strife is just a naughty guy. Action-packed tunnel music. Yeah, this is the music that plays whenever I'm exploring Tev's tunnel. I'm gonna regret that one. I am going to regret that one. I should not have let that one out. That is just an unacceptable euphemism, I think. Strife, do we want burritos for lunch? Is this some sort of a euphemism for how you're going to kick my ass for what I said, or... That's for me to know and for you to suffer through. Oh, guys, I think I'm in trouble. I think I might be in trouble. See, this is the way you do it. This is the way you do it. All right. I have a feeling Strife isn't going to get the ham sandwich he wanted for lunch. Maybe Tev will get sausage for dinner, though. Who knows at this rate? I did say it was my fault, Tev. I know she'd ask if you wanted a knuckle sandwich if she wanted you to know automatically. For real, though, I want chips and cheese dip. The burrito is a bonus. You know, I was thinking about us doing Mexican today. I was actually thinking about that just recently, so I'd say let's go for it. Let's do some Mexican, you know? I haven't had enough fried food in my diet. My heart could use a couple of more knocks. Let's go ahead and I'll grab my I'll get a chimichanga. Nothing like a good old deep fried burrito. Oh, fuck. I could get fajitas. You know, that was actually the main thing that came to my mind. Because, like, so frequently you get those cravings for fajitas. And I was like, you know, I feel like we're on our way to getting some, I feel like we're on our way to getting some Mexican. Specifically because she hasn't had fajitas in a while. And it feels like it's fajita time for her. She hasn't said anything about it. I just get this feeling. Meat. Sus. God. Your penis looks kind of sus. I think I need to inspect it. Bunk bat time. I haven't done anything wrong. I didn't do anything. And on that note, it's bird time. I'll be back. Hey, it was nice to see you for a bit, Chainsy. Hope that you have a good lunch. Nah, I would see how deep he digs his hole. That's not bonk bat. That's medieval mace levels of oh no. Damn it. Ooh, I've actually run out of stairs. Wrong shulker. Every last scrap of stone that I'm collecting up has to be cut. Man. Here's a good question. Do I have any normal stone in here? No, I do not. Okay. What we will do is we will continue on this wondrous path, and then once I run out of stairs, what I'll do is I'll come back through and strip the walls out and put in the other necessary stuff. Can I just do this from back here? Oh, that's so much faster. Okay, that's much easier. Okay, perfect. Gotta remember to go pick up the cat food today, too. And I have to go up to the pharmacy to pick up a script. Those two places are in different directions. Ugh. And I have to do freaking grocery shopping today. Oh, no. What a life I lead, yo. I have so many freaking chores to get done today. Yeah, this isn't gonna last as long as I thought. Like, these stairs are not gonna last me anywhere near as long as they need to. Going through like 3 stacks just to do one section. What the hell got us on the topic of silk earlier anyway? I cannot recall. You being a weirdo, probably. I don't think I was the one who brought silk up. Or what was it me? You switched to your silk touch pickaxe. Okay, my god. That's such an obvious joke. Why did I not think of it a second time? That face when the boy has a streamer brain. Hey now. Hey now. You listen to me. You listen to me. I'm 97% man and 4 inches of... Wait, 3 inches of... Wait, no, I don't want to finish that, I don't think. Man, I'm so close to finishing, too. And I do not have enough stairs. I think Will needs food in him real bad. It's not that bad. Man, I ran out of stairs super fast. Alright, so now we switch over to stripping out the walls a bit. We'll turn the stone that I pick up here into stairs. And then we'll, but more importantly than that, we'll go ahead and fill in the walls with the mossy cobblestone. Probably. No, believe me when I say I'm really not all that hungry right now. Right now, I am actually quite fine. I had an enormous bowl of cereal before starting. I mean, and I'm talking a lot. Admittedly, it's way more sugar than I should have for breakfast. I try to stay away from cereal as a breakfast item because it's horrible for you. It's like the stuff is it's concentrated like corn flour like what I know is that it's almost entirely coated in sugar. Like pizza is pizza is not healthy for you, but pizza is better for you than breakfast cereal. So, and you know, whenever you're at the grocery store and you see a box of Captain Crunch for $1.50, it's like, you know what? Who the hell cares that it's Christmas time Captain Crunch? I'm gonna go ahead and buy that, and I'm gonna enjoy it. And then you regret your decisions, you know? But I had a large bowl of Captain Crunch just as I was starting. I hadn't even finished it whenever I started streaming. So I'm fine. And that was you know, not even 3 hours ago. That explains it. The man is on a sugar high. More than you can imagine. What's the matter, Tev? I just removed a stair accidentally. I don't know, I'm tired. Oh, Tev, I'm so worried about you. You haven't been able to sleep well for so long now. And he has candy canes in his coffee. Yes, yes. I think I might have a lot, and look at what's on the look at what I have on the desk next to me. Don't worry, I haven't been eating those today. I didn't even eat any. I didn't eat any of those last night. Last night was like it was like the big one in regards to like showering and everything. Because I hadn't shaved or anything all week because of the cold temperatures and how cold the bathroom is. So it'll be fine. Body checks another door frame. Tev, you are misrepresenting the situation. Strife, put the sugar away. Strife couldn't put down his circus peanuts either. Yeah, well, I'm all out of circus peanuts now. Hey, chat, do you want to buy me some more circus peanuts? Got any more of them circus peanuts for me? He's got a sweet tooth. This is not true. This is not true. I do not have a sweet tooth. I'm not some maniacal clown from a combat racing game that was super popular on the PlayStation 1. Come back here, you little prick. Jesus. Okay, so now that that's done, let us convert everything that we've got here. Convert all of these to stairs. And we'll continue lining the tunnel as best as we can. Stash that again. Take that up. Then we're going to go ahead and fill my inventory with as much of this as I can. We'll stash that and that and that. All right, cool. With that done, okay. We'll come up to the top, the forwardmost section of the tunnel, and we'll start fixing it up here. So. I'm very curious, like, how... So it takes 60 to do a single stretch of the tunnel. Huh. So it takes 2 stacks to do one single stretch. So that means I'm going to get this stretch done and the next stretch done. Ooh la la. Whoa! No. Twisted Metal? Yes, indeed, Eli. That's exactly what the reference was. Hey, Kato, how you doing? Oh, hello, fancy fella. Hello, Tev and chatters. How are you all feeling this funky February? I'm feeling pretty funky good. Chad is insistent that I am on a sugar high. That is not true. It's not true at all. I am not on a sugar high. I didn't have Captain Crunch for breakfast, and I don't have candy canes in my coffee. There is no such thing as a sugar high here. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. I'm plugging my ears. It doesn't exist. How you doing, Kato? How have things been in your part of the world lately? That's awfully specific and defensive. You're defensive, Kato. I won't hear anything else. Just shut up. Oh man. But yeah, how's life treating you, Kato? You know, I'm really bad at reaching out to people and like continuing to stay connected. So the fact that you show up to my streams and say hi every once in a while, it really does mean a whole lot to me. Making friends and staying in touch with people is like one of the biggest challenges I have in my life. I need to stop listening to soundtracks for video games that I loved from like nigh on 20 years ago. Well, no, more like near on 10 years ago. It just makes me want to play old games over again, which there's nothing wrong with that, but God, I need to be continuing to stay up on what's new out there. Alright, well, I've got enough to get one side of this tunnel done, at least. Freaking bad block placement all around. Alright, do I have enough to just... I think I have just enough to get this next section of the tunnel in. That's convenient. It's nice. Even though I... Ah, damn it. No. Still not... God. Ugh, I'm a stacking. I'm exactly one stack short of finishing this section of the tunnel. And I don't have any more freaking stone to work with. No. I've been okay, thanks for asking. Playing too much Kenshi and Gunfire Reborn. I've seen you playing a lot of Kenshi, and I'm very curious what your opinion on that game is. I can't remember, but I think Kenshi was the game where it was like, yeah, you could have a game over where like you end up turning into a slave or something, because just the options of how that game works are so voluminous. It's like a very 90s style game type of thing. Kenshi is one of the best post-apocalyptic games ever made. Really? I'll take your word on that, given the fact that you've got such a specific love for Fallout. Very much so in the same space as me. It's peak, ah crap, I haven't spoken to X person in nearly a year, hours. Oh, jeez, that's freaking real. Strife, shush, calm your boot. Boot? Yes. Okay, autocorrect, thanks. Kato, can you get this man to quit playing Minecraft and play Borderlands 2 because he keeps wanting to play said old game? I have, what do you call it, separation anxiety. I'm neurotic, something where I often check in with my buds to the point of annoying them because I like their energy. I like your energy, man. I think we mesh together good in that regard because you check in on me. Meanwhile, I've got like the type of social anxiety where I'm like, I can't bother people. I can't bother people. You know? So it's like, okay, you've got the anxious energy of needing to check in on people. I've got the anxious energy of never freaking bothering people to my own detriment. So I think that those two components work hand in hand rather well. Vampire. I'm a vampire. Just like Tev. God. Different kinds of vampire. I know better than to ask someone to stop playing Minecraft. Wait, okay, wait. Kato, are you telling me that you've got some sort of a... you've got some sort of history or potentially a story behind like asking someone if they would like to stop playing Minecraft and play something different. I feel like that type of statement is like, oh no, I've been there before. I told someone like, stop playing it, let's do this instead, and it was a bad time all around. Ugh. If you can get over the learning curve anyway, it's kind of like learning multiple games at the same time. Oh, geez. Must be a really steep learning curve for the game, then. Looking mighty submissive and breedable today. Muckod, how far into the horny train are you right now? Holy moly, I did not expect to read that line. Am I missing some sort of context? I'm glancing at chat every once in a while. I just know Minecraft is a drug. It'd be like asking me to stop Valheim mid-battle, mid-build. Oh, are you, like, is that your, like, is that your game for, like, continuing to just constantly, play it and, like, build things in it? Because, like, for me, Valheim was never a really big deal in regards to building stuff. I was more interested in all of the adventuring, and I did as much building as was necessary, but I never really got super into the building process. But I've seen so many very fascinating builds from Valheim that I'm like, no, I totally get it, man. Vampires are awesome. Vampires over... Oh, Eli, how freaking dare you. Lycanthropy is its own niche. Vamps and werewolves are not so separate and have a lot in common in literature. Nah, Valheim. Didn't literature make them sappy and weak in a love triangle featuring Kirsten Stewart? God. Too bad my PC would violently implode if I tried to play Valheim. It seems like a neat game. I really do need to go back and give it another shot. But at the same time, part of me wants to just, like, not play Valheim again until it's finished. And part of that is the fact that, you know, I have limited bandwidth, and I'm trying to, like, I'm still playing 7 Days to Die. Meanwhile, I'm doing my best to get through the initial slog, which is, Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. All right. I have finished there. I still have lots of freaking food on me though, so let's come back and let's start stripping out the tunnels again by collecting up the necessary materials that's going to turn into additional stairs. Excuse you, I am the conductor. Oh, you're the conductor of the horny train. Cool. I'm surprised you haven't bothered, you know, doing a redemption of some type then, because there are horny redemptions on this stream. or are you just the type that, you know, you know what, never mind. I'm talking about the classics from centuries ago. Yes, yes. Tev does like her classics in regards to the way that vampires and werewolves work. I am the underpaid conductor. Oh my word, did I actually run out of music? I think I did. Okay, let's go back to playlists. You know what? I was getting a bit of a Cadence of Hyrule vibe. So let's switch to that for the rest of the stream. I've only got about an hour to go before I'm done, so. Yeah, Valheim is a danger, is my danger sandbox. The exploring, the crafting, the skills, the leveling, the skills to level. Yeah, the skills to level is something fun. That's something that I really, really do enjoy. In fact, what I would probably do if I started a new game is I would take my old character, I'd load up my old world, I'd deposit all of the things that I have on me, and I would proceed to start a brand new world with my old character and just basically start from scratch. So I would have all of the skills intact from my previous playthrough, you know? Run my own server from my laptop when my pals want to play. That's the fucking way to do it, man. That is the way to do it. I love exploring in Valheim. Valheim is just Viking Twilight Forest. Change my mind. You know what? I can't. I read that and I can't even say. I'm not going to debate you because even if that's an apt comparison, I'd say that it's a good comparison. So. We will just continue to work on this. So, whoa, hey! Zero subscribed to tier 1, five months now. Thank you so much for the subscription there, Zero. It's good to know that I'm worth both your time and your money. Great to have you along for the ride. Welcome to the stream. Enjoy yourself while you're here. Glad to be back. Time for shenanigans. Well, you've got an hour of shenanigans with me before I have to stop for, like, errands and lunch and whatnot. I know you dislike mods, but CCI, though. What's CCI? I have no earthly idea what you're referring to. Fun fact about old-time vampire lore. Vampires don't have reflections because mirrors used silver to make them reflective, and since it's holy material, it doesn't interact with them with unholy vampires. Yes, yes. a silver-backed mirror was always very important for hunting the undead and whatnot. That was definitely a detail that it made the whole concept of mirrors make way more sense, because it's like, yeah, you have to fight vampires with silver, which is something I've heard before, but obviously, like, the whole, I don't know, when it comes to like vampires, when it comes to silver and unholy beasts, it was always a more prominent werewolf thing to me. But the last time that I've, like, there are 2 game franchises that really leaned on the whole, like, you know, silver is necessary for hunting, like, unholy creatures, and they were Skyrim and The Witcher. Because, you know, in The Witcher, Geralt has a silver sword, or at least he did in the first one. I got a certain way into the first game, and I just, like, never finished it. And then the other game was Skyrim, you know? And I had a whole lot of fun with like, I've always wanted to go back and specifically in Skyrim play a quote-unquote Witcher who focuses on using silver swords almost exclusively in the game. So all right. What we got here? That particular fun fact has been distributed a lot these past couple of years. This means that modern mirrors which use aluminum should work properly on vampires. Ultimate Bergie acquired. Content creator integration allows you to do things to you with channel points, bits, subs, raids. Oh god. Wonder if vampires hate garlic. Is it because they have gout? Has a steel sword and a silver sword in The Witcher 3. I mean, Geralt had a steel sword and a silver sword in Witcher 1 as well. There we go. All right, so. Little bits at a time here. Oh no, I found an... Oh no. Oh no! It's another gravel vein! Can't leave these alone, man! I find them and I have to go for them. Another big and veiny right in my way. I gotta work through the whole thing. I can't allow myself not to work through the whole thing. God, this is a particularly large one, too. I am so entertained by the fact that there is a remix of Tal Tal Heights in Cadence of Hyrule. Speaking of Zelda bangers, may I hear the story behind the name Link the First? So, whenever I started using the internet, God, okay, so this is really going back in time for me. For me, our family's first computer, we got it in, like, I believe the year 2001. I remember it was still something fairly new when my sister came home with Luigi's Mansion. And I believe Luigi's Mansion was... I think that was released in 2001. I remember being on the desktop computer back then when she came home with the GameCube and Luigi's Mansion, because she got it on the release day. And I remember trying to play Final Fantasy VII on the PC, but just not being able to look away from the TV, and I was like, alright, I gotta shut this off, and I gotta just sit there and watch her play it. But anyways, so I'm pretty certain that we got our first computer in 2001, and one of the first things that I ended up doing whenever I was on that PC and we got access to internet and everything was we started like I was obsessed with Zelda Ocarina of Time at the time, all right? So the lore around surrounding Zelda at the time was that if you tried to organize the games in a timeline, and the words of Shigeru Miyamoto was that Ocarina of Time was a prequel to all other Zelda games, okay? Like if you tried to arrange them, then Ocarina of Time would be the first one in a timeline. Now that was more of a castaway comment he had, evidently, but it was not, and you know, Nintendo isn't really all that dedicated to making a proper timeline. But when it came, whenever I got on the internet, the first thing I did was I joined a forum called hyrule.co.ar. Okay, and I had to come up with the screen name, and I thought, okay, well, I really like Link from the Ocarina of Time, and he is supposedly the very first Link in a timeline sense, so I'll call myself Link the First. And that is the origin story behind my screen name. It is literally a reference to Link from Ocarina of Time and how supposedly I'm supposed to be referencing him. So, the first Link ever, so Link the First. I think that this leads back to the entrance. Oof. Sound's been turned down. It's still too loud. With CCI, one example is that if someone donates 100 bits, it spawns a tamed cat at a certain XYZ. Or zooms on you. Or zombies on you. Oh my god. It really is a limitation. It really does whatever you want to do. The only limitation is Minecraft itself. I love finding gravel veins, as gravel's a pain in the jacksy to find when you actually need it. Hence the reason why I'm like really leaning in on the whole warehouse situation that I have, because like I realized relatively quickly that I wasn't going to need all the space in the warehouse. You know, like being able to store 1 million, that's a lot. That is a lot to be able to store. 1 million blocks? So, having the ability to, store that much material. Okay, this is too loud. That's a little bit better. Okay. Having the ability to store 1 million blocks is like, you gotta go through some trouble to actually have that much of a storage space. So, when I realized that I didn't need that much storage space, I was like, okay, yeah, I should probably try to use this storage space, because there are all sorts of projects that I will get to work on, and then I will find out that I don't have the supply necessary to do what I'm trying to get done. So this is probably a good opportunity for me to just like lean in on it, you know? The background of screen names is always fascinating to me. Yeah, it's unique. It's different. Hey Strifey, how's it going? Oh well, hello Ace. How are you doing? Greetings and welcome to the stream. We're just we're continuing to work on the infrastructure project. Oh damn it! I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. I need my other shovel. My other cheval. Tev? Tev? I see what you freaking sent me. How dare you? These jokes are unacceptable. You hear me? These jokes are absolutely unacceptable. Chat, do me a favor. Bury Tev in like crucifixes and garlic, okay? She's done a bad. Joke's on you. I'm into that shit. No, you. How dare you? You can't use a reverse card, Kato. That's against the rules. How do you make clay from mud? So clay from mud is actually really, really simple. I'll show you the setup that I have here. I should probably, like, I found this design online. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea for me to demonstrate how you build it on my own as well. But this contraption right here is specifically designed to work with stone shovels. And you just stand here with, you know what, I'll just make a single stone shovel. I'll show you how this works really, really quick here. We got a single stone shovel. What's important about this this contraption here is that if you have a shovel that works too fast, this thing won't work properly. So basically, you stand here, you look at the underside of this this block, and you hold down right click. You put some dirt in your offhand. You hold down right click, and then with a shovel in your main hand, so you just hold down both left and right click at the same time. And it automatically turns your it automatically turns dirt into mud. Okay, so this is an auto mud machine. Okay, and you just have to sit here, and a stone shovel works slow enough for the to not jam up the machine. Okay, so you can only do it so quickly, and so it's like, okay, just stand there with like, I don't know, a dozen shovels and just constantly switch from one to the next whenever they break or whatever. And it continues to make mud, and you can see that that's how it's done here. But then you take the mud from here. Tev is threatening me again. Okay, so then you take the mud from there and you put it on these blocks, okay? And as you can see, the mud is drying out into clay. And the way that that's done, as you can see, is with dripstone underneath it. So basically, if you put mud on top of a block that has dripstone hanging from it, it will dry the mud out into clay at some point. That is the way that it works. And I just, you know, used a building already present here at spawn that I hadn't used, and was relatively long, and I just, you know, put this block system in. I'm certain that there's a more efficient way to do it, but this is the way that I've set up that fits in with the infrastructure that I already have. And, you know, and I built this because otherwise you have to, let me see if I can actually, so basically you have to grab to make mud, you have to put down a dirt block, you have to right click it with a water bottle. So that's kind of tedious to, you know, put down a bunch of dirt, water bottle each individual one, and then, so that's the reason why I've got this whole system. Could you put cauldrons under the dripstone to make water? Yes, you can make infinite water that way. You can, well, that's a good question. I don't think it works unless it has source water above it. In the space where the dirt, the mud or the clay is, I think it has to be a source water block. So, there you go. Freaking Minecraft machines. Yes, Kato, they're everywhere. They get so complicated so fast. So, I like the fact that it's possible to engineer some tedium out of the game. Some things are tedious. Making mud is a tedious process. I don't want this game to play itself. Like, that's far from what I want. Like, I want to play this game. I want to do the digging. I want to do the collecting. I will only set up farms for so many things. But this is very convenient for me. Wait a minute. Did I, Oh, hey. I have extra stone. Okay. Okay, clay and clay balls are both pretty useful. Yeah, the whole reason that I'm doing it is because, like, I have, I'm stockpiling clay at the warehouse inside Shale, and my goal is to basically have a stockpile of just straight up normal bricks, and I need a lot of that stuff. So that's my ultimate goal, to just literally have all of the clay necessary to build things out of brick whenever I want to. I don't even have a design or anything that I'm focused on at the moment where it's like, oh, this needs to be made out of clay brick. I don't have anything like that. I'm just like, no, I just want to have clay brick ready to go whenever I want to use it. And that's a thing that I've learned that from multiple experiences of my building projects. Like, I'll get on to so many like projects and I'll stop halfway through because I'm sick. I'm just so sick of collecting materials up and not being able to see the building project come to fruition. So that's been part of my design and or plan for a long time. It's like, okay, since I will sit down and I will basically play this game and enjoy the tedium of this game because it's like cathartic, I'm like, okay, let's focus on collecting things up and like building my my supply dump. Because I will sit down and I will just listen to a podcast or something whenever I play this game. It's like, okay, let's focus on building the supply dump that I'm gonna need. That's what I'll do. So the more rare the material is, the more interested I am in collecting up the material in mass, so that I can continue, so that I can stockpile it for like building some really amazing stuff. Getting tired of gathering materials is for building is why I build in creative for big builds. Yeah, and I totally get that. I really do. I completely understand it. I'm not above prototyping my builds in creative mode, you know, just to see if they're gonna work and everything. But at the same time, like, for me personally, it's like there's so much fun, just chill enjoyment to be had from playing the game and doing the exact same thing over and over. So for me, that's the reason why I continue to play in survival mode. Like, it's really rewarding for me to be like, oh, I collected all of the materials the hard way for a long time to get this done, you know? So to basically make that possible, it's like, okay, well, how on earth are you gonna do all of those builds whenever you get sick of it so easily? And that's basically my answer. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and spend time. I'm just gonna spend as much time as I possibly can collecting up material here. You can tell that this tunnel was dug during a time when light and torch placement was there was no such thing as overlighting a build. Good old light level 7 rules. Do you have a vanilla sorting system? I never understood how they're meant to work. I do have a vanilla sorting system, a partial one. It is in the basement of Crossroads, and to be honest, I don't really like it because it's big, it's unwieldy, it is not particularly efficient, you know? You could say the tunnel is lit, right? God, why? Why? You collect a bunch of materials just clearing space for builds, so what do you do with those materials? Most of that material goes towards the construction of other projects. Sometimes it also results in me building... Some of the materials have gone literally into the void because okay, a good example. I was for a very, very long time focused and stuck in on the idea of using cheap equipment. So I dug and built pretty much everything on the Minecraft server with stone equipment right up until Tev's library. Okay? And that's not a joke in any capacity. Like that's not hyperbole. That is literal. I did almost all of the work on this server with stone tools until Tev's library. When Tev's library became a thing that we started to do, that was whenever I built the original test village inside of a cave to figure out how to build a villager trading system. And when I did that, I finally was like, okay, I'm going to get like the best enchantments possible with mending on all of my equipment. At which point, like all of my game changed. So when we started working on Tev's library, that was when she, That was when we were pulling so much stone out of the ground and we didn't have enough space to put any of it. And because I was working on that underground village, as it were, I had stonemasons. So a certain amount of the material, a not insignificant amount of the material that was pulled out of the ground whenever working on Tev's library initially, was literally being carted back here to spawn, and I was selling it off to stonemasons to make emeralds, to supply the whole creation of most of my equipment that I have now. So now builds don't take as long because the tools make short work of the materials you're digging up. Yes. So it is not inaccurate to say that Tev's library led to me changing my game, okay? Tev's library turned out to be a game changer. So, because it forced me to think about doing things differently. Tev's library is the first true mega project that has been attempted on this server, you know? And that mega project is still kind of outstanding. So, like Strife Solutions, the Solution Tower and everything, it may be done, and it itself is a huge project, but it would not have been possible was it not for the fact that Tev wanting to build an absurdly large library literally led me to having to reevaluate my style of gameplay. So, you know, I've got her to thank for that. Also, hello Nipty, how are you doing? Doing rather good. That was a happy little face you're giving there. That's good to hear. You could say the tunnel is lit bright. Okay, yes, I already read that. Do you know if Lithos is just one part? All the textures are included in core. Yes, Lithos core, like basically my understanding is that Lithos, at least once upon a time, used to have like a bunch of texture add-ons from some mod packs or something, hence the reason why it's called Lithos core. That is my understanding, anyway. But all of the vanilla textures are in Lithos, to my knowledge. And I continue to use it because I like the way that it looks. And I believe the person who maintains the pack, named Elazar, is continuing to actually keep it up to date every single time there's a new update. So, you know, not all texture packs are kept up to date. So I like it whenever I find a nice looking texture pack. Or just, you know, a texture pack that I personally enjoy, and the person who works on it actually updates it. Hear that, Tev? You helped Will's gameplay. God, there's a lot of noise happening out there today. You know what's been happening, as Tev did tell you, but let's say last 2 weeks completely depression-free. So, hey, that's pretty great. That's pretty great. Though, Nipty, we need to discuss the fact that you have been notably absent from playing your job as my dragon scale rug up in my upscale penthouse. We need to start talking about whether or not you really have a future here at Strife Solutions. I'm glad that you're happy and you're having a good time. Yeah, that's gonna come out. Forget it. I won't bother with that. Are these OC remix jams? No, Kato. This is actually the soundtrack for Cadence of Hyrule. Crypt of the Necrodancer featuring The Legend of Zelda. Which I had a whole lot of fun whenever the game came out. Actually, I think I published a video about it whenever I... Oh, man. Great vidya. Yeah, it's nice to go back and take a look at some of the stuff that I've done in the past. Okay, let's hit play on that. Speaking of other games that knock your socks off, have you looked at the surprise hit that is Hi-Fi Rush? No, I have not actually. And it's mostly because rhythm games and me have a bit of a rocky history because of how bad I am at them. That being said, I've heard so many good things, and especially after watching Cadence of Hyrule, it's like, maybe I should give it a shot. Then again, I only got through Cadence of Hyrule because I was able to shut off the rhythm mechanics. That's how bad at it I am. It's like, okay, can I shut off the rhythm mechanics and just play like a normal game? Because if that's not possible, chances are I am not going to be good at it, and I am not going to enjoy it. Which is really freaking sad, but knowing where your limitations lie is important. I've seen bits and pieces of the game. Okay, that's properly lit up. Sent you the trailer, but yeah, you can set it to single button mode, but you can't turn off the rhythm mechanic. I want to support the game as much as possible because we need more fun games. Yeah, and I like one of my biggest hangups is whenever like there's a really, really good game that comes out and it's like, okay, this is new, this is different, this is creative, I really like what they've done here, but I fucking suck at it, and as a result, I do not enjoy it. So like, being in that situation sucks, where it's like, I want to support good games like this, man, but fuck me, I cannot play this style of game. My inventory is full already. Great. Me with Hotline Miami. Fucking amazing soundtrack, but I can't play it for shit. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed a decent amount of Hotline Miami, but at some point I just got so sick of the restarting in it. I remember I made a video for that game, too. It wasn't like a proper review or anything. Okay. And then I remember Hotline Miami 2 was like, I think it was like not as good or something. I don't quite remember. Oh, that's right. The Dark World March. That sounds like you're letting air out of a balloon. Ugh. Do not give me this shit. I need more cobblestone. A benefit
A benefit I've seen Hi-Fi rush through is the whole environment moves to the beat too, on top of the on-screen prompts. Cutscenes too, which is absurd and amazing. Wow, that does sound pretty impressive. Criminy, what's happening with the tunnel here, man? It's like, it's all coming apart at the seams, man. For a game stupidly polished and $30 in 2023, I'd buy it even if I didn't jive with rhythm games. Jeez, that'd be saying that is saying something. It is absolutely saying something. Oh my god, is it almost 4 o'clock already? Holy crap, I gotta stop? Chat, why didn't you tell me the time was flying? This is your fault, you know. Nobody else can take responsibility for this other than you. What do you have to say for yourself, chat? What about Tev? Honestly, I think that Tev may have fallen back asleep. And she's had such a bad time with sleep lately that I am not going to disturb her. Is Tev excused from responsibility for a myriad of reasons? Yeah, she is. She is. Mostly because, like, I care about whether or not she's getting enough sleep, and she's been having... She's been having a bit of insomnia lately, so... Is this another freaking... It is. It's another freaking gravel vein. Ugh. Never freaking stops. What song was it? Death Mountain. Death Mountain combat version. Looking good. Ugh. Chat, I've been working on my happy tunnel for so long. And look, I've hit the end of the line right over here, too. One more block. Holy freaking moly, man. Like, what I know is that once I hit this point, I have to figure out how to put my lines up to the station up there. So that's the end of this particular tunnel digging operation, as it were. Okay, so with that done, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that. God damn it. Misclicking again. Oh, I should be editing. Sergeant, I recorded this morning and I haven't started on it. Can't stop, won't stop. Man, I know what that's like. I know what that's like all too freaking well. Not being able to stop, you know? Not being able to, like, bring yourself to get work done as well. Been in that situation so many times. Alright, well, while I should... Oh my word, I'm so far out down the tunnel that I'm actually up to the point where I ran out of track to lay. Alright, well, whether I like it or not, it's time for me to start closing up for the day. So... Oh, I can tell that I think that the block right next to me is actually causing the cart to move slower. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Man. And this is about as close to the way that the tunnel is supposed to look. What's missing is the lighting. The lighting is not proper in this section of the tunnel yet, so... Minecarts are finicky? Yes. Ah, now we're on the diagonal, where things feel like they're going way faster, because technically they are. Go. Alright, first things first. Let's sort my inventory out. I gotta sort my inventory out, and then I gotta, like, do this whole... Take all of that out of my inventory. There we go. I'm gonna have to go back to Crossroads and resupply myself with emeralds. Like, I have had so many wandering traders come around and say hi while I've been in the process of just, like, sitting around waiting for clay to cook back at the other, back at Sideshale. Let's see. It's time up for another stack of those bad boys in there. Grab up those. Ugh. My miscellaneous chest is getting full again, man. It's ridiculous. Look at this. Oh, no. I'm so glad the camera's not locked to the cart. What's wrong with having the camera locked to the cart? Would it make you motion sick? Okie dokie. So, Let's deposit the gravel? No, the dirt. We'll deposit the dirt. Stash the cobblestone as well. Ah, no, it's raining. I think it was, yeah, the diagonal bit wouldn't be there. Man. Yeah, some people will not dig their tunnels diagonally. They will always do, like, straight right turns with their tunnels all the time. And it's like, if that's the case, and, like, whatever, you do you. But for me over here, it's just like, nope. I like diagonals because, strictly speaking, you move faster in diagonals. Because I think the maximum minecart speed is 8 blocks per second. And that is locked to per axis. So strictly speaking, the fastest that you can move is in diagonal fashion because you're moving 8 blocks on one axis and 8 blocks on the other axis. So you're moving more blocks as a result of it, you know? All right, man. Man, oh man. Oh, wait. Oh. Chat, you have been a wonderful and a lovely audience today. Thank you so much for coming along for the ride. I always enjoy this, you know? I always enjoy playing a bit of Minecraft. I always enjoy... Let's stop that music. Having fun with this stuff for you. I love having you along for the ride. I love just being able to work on my Minecraft server too, and do these big, quite frankly, mundane building projects. There's nothing fancy or fun about building a rail line, but at the same time, I'm glad that I can just kind of sit there and chat with you guys and have a good time in the process. Oh, excuse me. Now, it is 4 minutes past 4, so it is time for me to stop streaming. But how many squats do we have here? 5, 10...